Got over an hour of motivation. I was inspired to make this because I find stuff like this and I actively listen to stuff like this when I go to sleep, stuff like this when I'm on a long drive. I kind of made it for myself and to also reach anybody else who's interested in these success motivation quotes.
The secret to success is picking one thing and doing it better than anyone else. The fastest way to make more money is to sell more to the people you already serve. You don't need more leads, you need better offers. Every big business started as a small one. Stop thinking small and start acting bigger. Skills get paid, not time, not effort, not passion, skills. Your goal isn't to make money. Your goal is to build systems that make money for you. Rich people invest money to save time. Poor people waste time to save money. Stop trying to be perfect. Be prolific. Perfection kills momentum. If people aren't buying, the offer isn't good enough. Success isn't about who's the smartest. It's about who's the most consistent. The best product doesn't win, the best offer does. Most people don't fail because they aim too high and miss. They fail because they aim too low and hit. If you want to make a lot of money, solve expensive problems. The marketplace pays for value delivered, not time invested. Start with the end in mind and reverse engineer the steps to get there. The easiest way to make money is to be valuable to other people. Don't reinvent the wheel, just roll it better. The biggest bottleneck in any business is almost always the founder. People overestimate what they can do in a year and underestimate what they can do in a decade. Make offers so good people feel stupid saying no. Don't blame the customer for not buying. Fix your offer. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. The person who wins is the one who learns faster. Revenue is vanity, profit is sanity, and cash flow is king. The number one reason businesses fail is because they run out of cash. The goal is not to work less. The goal is to make work feel less like work. Every overnight success story has years of invisible effort behind it. The richest people in the world are the best problem solvers. Your ability to make money is directly tied to your ability to communicate value. Don't focus on being liked, focus on being valuable. The easiest way to double your business is to double your average order value. Being busy is not the same as being productive. The hardest thing about success is staying focused on what matters. You can't scale chaos, build systems. If you want to stand out, do what others aren't willing to do. Consistency beats intensity every time. Take big swings. Small swings don't change the game. Your business grows as you grow. Time is your most valuable asset. Protect it fiercely. Stop worrying about what people think. They're not thinking about you. Make decisions based on math, not emotions. The best investment you can make is in yourself. Repetition creates mastery. Mastery creates money. The value you provide is what determines your paycheck. Do the boring work. That's where success is made. High-income skills pay high-income salaries. Every business problem is a people problem. Don't let fear stop you. Let it guide you. Your actions dictate your results, not your intentions. The most successful people don't avoid problems, they solve them. You are in danger of living a life so comfortable and soft that you will die without ever realizing your true potential. It's a lot more than mind over matter. It takes relentless self-discipline to schedule suffering into your day, every day. Denial is the ultimate comfort zone. The most important conversations you'll ever have are the ones you'll have with yourself. Pain unlocks a secret doorway in the mind, one that leads to both peak performance and beautiful silence. Don't stop when you're tired, stop when you're done. In the military, we always say we don't rise to the level of our expectations, we fall to the level of our training. We're either getting better or we're getting worse. Be more than motivated, be more than driven, become literally obsessed to the point where people think you're fucking nuts. I don't stop when I'm tired, I stop when I'm done. Everything in life is a mind game. Whenever we get swept under by life's dramas, large and small, we are forgetting that no matter how bad the pain gets, no matter how harrowing the torture, all bad things end. We live in a world with a lot of insecure, jealous people. Some of them are our best friends. They are blood relatives. Failure terrifies them. So does our success. Because when we transcend what we once thought possible, push our limits, and become more, our light reflects off all the walls they've built up around them. Tell yourself the truth, that you've wasted enough time and that you have other dreams that will take courage to realize so you don't die a fucking pussy. From then on, I brainwashed myself into craving discomfort. If it was raining, I would go run. Whenever it started snowing, my mind would say, "Get your fucking running shoes on." The Buddha famously said that life is suffering. I'm not a Buddhist, but I know what he meant, and so do you. To exist in this world, we must contend with humiliation, broken dreams, sadness, and loss. Heraclitus, a philosopher born in the Persian Empire back in the 5th century BC, had it right when he wrote about men on the battlefield. Out of every 100 men, he wrote, 10 shouldn't even be there. 80 are just targets, 9 are the real fighters, and we are lucky to have them, for they make the battle. Ah, but the one is a warrior. We all need small sparks, small accomplishments in our lives to fuel the big ones. The reason it's important to push hardest when you want to quit the most is because it helps you callous your mind. When you think that you are done, you're only 40% in to what your body's capable of doing. The only place where success comes before work is in the dictionary. Your mind is a powerful thing. When you fill it with positive thoughts, your life will start to change. Dream big, but don't forget to put in the work. Success comes to those who hustle. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. Success is not obtained overnight. It is a gradual process that requires patience and perseverance. Success is not just about achieving goals. It's about becoming the person we are meant to be along the way. As you sit back doing nothing because you are afraid to make a mistake, someone else is out there making all kinds of mistakes, learning lessons and becoming successful. Stop being weak. The world doesn't care about your excuses. It cares about your results. If you want to win, you have to be willing to do what others won't. The biggest secret to winning in life is showing up every single day no matter how you feel. Success is not about making money, it's about making a difference. Embrace change. It's the only way to grow and become better. Your excuses are nothing more than the lies your fears have sold you. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. The harder you work for something, the greater you'll feel when you achieve it. Don't wait for opportunity. Create it. Success doesn't just find you. You have to go out and get it. The key to success is to focus on goals, not obstacles. Dream it, wish it, do it. Great things never come from comfort zones. Success is not for the lazy. The way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. Don't stop when you're tired, stop when you're done. Wake up every morning with determination if you want to go to bed with satisfaction. You can't cheat the grind. It knows how much you've invested, and it won't give you anything you haven't earned. Push yourself, because no one else is going to do it for you. Excuses will always be there, opportunity won't. Your future is created by what you do today, not tomorrow. Work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Successful people do what unsuccessful people are not willing to do. Success is earned, not given. Champions keep playing until they get it right. Every accomplishment starts with the decision to try. The difference between ordinary and extraordinary is that little extra. You'll never regret working hard, but you'll always regret giving up too soon. Success requires sacrifice. What are you willing to give up to get what you want? Be obsessed with your goals, or you'll be average. Confidence comes from discipline and training. Your habits determine your future. Results happen over time, not overnight. Work hard, stay consistent, and be patient. The pain you feel today will be the strength you feel tomorrow. Success starts with self-discipline. Don't wish for it, work for it. The grind may go unnoticed, but the results will not. If you want different results, you have to do things differently. Don't let your comfort zone become your cage. You can either make progress or make excuses. You can't do both. Your mindset determines your outcome. Nothing great ever came from half-hearted effort. Focus on your goals, not your fears. Be relentless in the pursuit of your goals. Love your family, work super hard, live your passion. Skills are cheap. Passion is priceless. Without hustle, talent will only carry you so far. The only differentiator in this game is your passion and your hustle. Ideas are worthless without the execution. Execution is pointless without the ideas. Stop hanging around people who don't want to win. Look yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, what do I want to do every day for the rest of my life? Do that. If you're not putting out relevant content in relevant places, you don't exist. Your legacy is being written by yourself. Make the right decisions. We only get to play this game one time, one life. Please think about your legacy because you're writing it every day. All your ideas may be solid or even good, but you have to actually execute on them for them to matter. Focus on your strengths, not your weaknesses. Do what makes you happy. Keep it simple. Do the research. Work hard. Look ahead. It's easy to dream about it, much harder to execute it. Work. People are chasing cash, not happiness. When you chase money, you're going to lose. Even if you get the money, you're not going to be happy. You have to understand your own personal DNA. Don't do things because I do them or Steve Jobs or Mark Cuban tried it. You need to know your personal brand and stay true to it. When I hear people debate the ROI of social media, it makes me remember why so many businesses fail. Most businesses are not playing the marathon, they're playing the sprint. Storytelling is by far the most underrated skill in business. It's not how many followers you have, it's how many care. It's not width, it's depth. Whether you're 9 or 90, stop trying to fix the things you're bad at and focus on the things you're good at. Pour your heart and soul into your business. People will notice. Wake up before everybody else and work into the night. Hustle. Effort is grossly underrated. Stop whining, start hustling. No matter what you do, your job is to tell your story. There no longer has to be a difference between who you are and what you do. If you live for the weekends and vacations, your shit is broken. I'm grinding when you're sleeping. 99% of people don't market in the year that we are actually living in. Ideas are shit. Execution is the game. The reason I was able to grow my business was that every day, after producing 30 minutes of wine television, I spent 15 hours a day replying to every single person's email and every single person's Twitter @reply. When the tech geeks talk, I pay close attention. I influence anybody who is able to get through the chaos of my first impression. Storytelling is the game. It's what we all do. Be reactionary, react to what the market wants. Success is not defined by how much money you make, but by how happy you are. If you want to build something big, stop asking for permission. Content is king, but marketing is queen and runs the household. The market doesn't care about your feelings. Be grateful. Gratitude is the foundation of happiness. Stop focusing on what others are doing and start focusing on what you're doing. Winners win because they don't stop when they're tired, they stop when they're done. Don't fear losing. Fear being the same person in 10 years that you are today. Work hard, work smart, and be kind. Your personal brand is your reputation. Build it with intention. Stop worrying about what other people think. They're not paying your bills. Don't wait for opportunities, create them. Make every second count. Time is the one thing you can't get back. You're not lost. You're just early in the process. Innovation distinguishes between a leader and a follower. Stay hungry, stay foolish. Your work is going to fill a large part of your life, and the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. The only way to do great work is to love what you do. Design is not just what it looks like and feels like. Design is how it works. I want to put a ding in the universe. Remembering that you are going to die is the best way I know to avoid the trap of thinking you have something to lose. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. Have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become. I'm convinced that about half of what separates successful entrepreneurs from the non-successful ones is pure perseverance. Quality is more important than quantity. One home run is much better than 2 doubles. My job is not to be easy on people. My job is to take these great people we have and to push them and make them even better. Be a yardstick of quality. Some people aren't used to an environment where excellence is expected. Things don't have to change the world to be important. Sometimes life is going to hit you in the head with a brick. Don't lose faith. The people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. Great things in business are never done by one person. They're done by a team of people. Details matter. It's worth waiting to get it right. We don't get a chance to do that many things, and everyone should be really excellent. Deciding what not to do is as important as deciding what to do. It's not about money. It's about the people you have, how you're led, and how much you get it. You've got to start with the customer experience and work backward to the technology. Creativity is just connecting things. Innovation comes from saying no to 1,000 things. Technology is nothing. What's important is that you have faith in people. If you really look closely, most overnight successes took a long time. We hire people who want to make the best things in the world. Focus is about saying no. People judge you by your performance, so focus on the outcome. I think the things you regret most in life are the things you didn't do. Being the richest man in the cemetery doesn't matter to me. Going to bed at night saying we've done something wonderful, that's what matters to me. A lot of times, people don't know what they want until you show it to them. Simple can be harder than complex. You have to work hard to get your thinking clean to make it simple. You can't connect the dots looking forward, you can only connect them looking backward. The heaviness of being successful was replaced by the lightness of being a beginner again. I'm as proud of what we don't do as I am of what we do. Don't settle, as with all matters of the heart, you'll know when you find it. It's more fun to be a pirate than to join the Navy. Without death, there would be very little progress. We are here to put a dent in the universe, otherwise why even be here? Your customers dream of a happier and better life. Don't move products, enrich lives. Sometimes, when you innovate, you make mistakes. It is best to admit them quickly and get on with improving your other innovations. Get closer than ever to your customers. So close that you tell them what they need well before they realize it themselves. The journey is the reward. To turn really interesting ideas into reality takes perseverance and a willingness to experiment. If today were the last day of your life, would you want to do what you are about to do today? Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the results of other people's thinking. If you keep your eye on the profit, you're going to skimp on the product. Innovation is saying no to 1,000 things. I think death is the most wonderful invention of life. It purges the system of these old models that are obsolete. People who know what they're talking about don't need PowerPoint. The hardest thing is to decide to act. The rest is merely tenacity. Work is going to fill a large part of your life, and the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. I'd rather gamble on our vision than make a Me Too product. Sometimes you have to trust in something, your gut, destiny, life, karma, whatever. The real art is knowing what to leave out. We make tools for people, tools to create, tools to communicate. Money is a wonderful thing because it enables you to do things. It enables you to invest in ideas that don't have a short-term payback. Every once in a while, a revolutionary product comes along that changes everything. Show me your friends, and I will show you your future. Reading books is not taking action. Taking action is pulling the trigger. People with low self-esteem protect themselves by not taking risks. High self-esteem gives you the power of confidence to take chances. Man plans, God laughs. The difference between a failure and a high-performance individual is how each deals with fear. We are all afraid. A high-performance person uses his fear to galvanize his actions. Don't waste time on things you can't change. A deal is either hot or it's not. Business deals start and end with people. The interaction of flesh and blood, bone and sinew, heart and mind, emotion and soul. Success starts with you being comfortable being uncomfortable. It's wrong to be taught you're the pension fund of your parents. Quantum leap success means fishing with nets, not just with lines. Progress often masquerades as trouble. Never ever share your doubts. I've never seen a part-time, super successful, high-performance person. Tough times don't last, tough people do. Don't just work longer hours, staying busy as most other people do. Work smart, i.e. stay productive and don't get distracted. The best way to predict the future is to create it yourself. The difference between me and a lot of you here is that I have no fears. Once you become fearless, life becomes limitless. If you change 1 billion lives, that's the formula to become a billionaire and change the world. Practice within when you're without, practice success. Too many people waste time on personal development instead of execution. They confuse reading for action. We have two bank accounts, the emotional bank account and the financial bank account. We empty one into the other. I can guarantee you, you will never achieve anything greater than your highest aspiration. The best form of customer service is self-service. Size is the enemy of speed. Speed to react matters more than size of company. I don't want anybody to love me. In fact, I don't want anyone to even like me. I want them to respect me. Respect is fine. Good leaders make sense of change in the world, then impart that insight to the team. Political correctness is a manifestation of a lack of self-esteem. The job of CEOs is not to be the smartest guy in the room, but to attract other smart guys to work for him. The group brain is far more powerful than individual brain power. Human talent is the currency of the new economy. The best CEOs of all time are hedgehogs. You can't have a dream come true unless you have a dream. Don't under any circumstances ever second-guess yourself. Always shoot for the moon. Even if you don't hit the bullseye, you'll at least get 80%. We must all remember, life doesn't have to be fair for us to succeed if we take charge and become masters and creators of our own destiny. If you want things to change, first you have to change. Realists are brutally honest with themselves, yet they still have an unwavering belief that they will prevail. You will never achieve success if you can't handle rejection. Success is not for the weak or faint-hearted. Success is reserved for those who never give up. Your comfort zone is your failure zone. Stop hanging around people who only see problems and start spending time with those who see opportunities. The most successful people in the world are the ones who learn how to handle failure the fastest. If you're not willing to pay the price, don't expect the reward. Dream big, think big, act big. Excuses are nothing more than lies you tell yourself to justify staying average. If your goals don't scare you, they're not big enough. Don't waste your energy trying to convince people who don't want to be convinced. Life doesn't reward intentions, it rewards actions. Commitment is doing the thing you said you would do long after the mood you set it in has left you. The road to success is always under construction. Keep moving forward. Work for that feeling that you have accomplished something. Don't waste your time on this earth without making a mark. The universe rewards calculated risk and passion. One of the most fascinating lessons I've absorbed about life is that the struggle is good. Fuel yourself with the screw-ups. We define ourselves far too often by our past failures. That's not you. You are this person right now. You're the person who has learned from those failures. There's only one way to get good at anything. You surround yourself with the bad motherfuckers who are doing exactly what you do, and you force yourself to keep up and inspire each other. Haters are all failures. It's 100% across the board. No one who is truly brilliant at anything is a hater. Be cool to people. Be nice to as many people as you can. Smile to as many people as you can, and have them smile back at you. There's a direct correlation between positive energy and positive results in the physical form. Live your life like there is a documentary crew following you around and you are analyzing your own behavior. Resistance is the key battle that you're going to fight for the rest of your life. But the key to overcoming that resistance is to fight it. Every day you do so, you have won the battle for that day. Someone else's success does not equal a failure for you. Pretend that your life was a movie and it started now. What would the hero do? What would the person that you respect do? What would the person that you admire and inspires you do? Do that. The key to happiness doesn't lay in numbers in a bank account, but in the way we make others feel and the way they make us feel. If you are the greatest, why would you go around talking about it? I truly believe that in order to truly be great at something, you have to give into a certain amount of madness. Live your life like you're the hero in your own movie. The time you spend hating on someone robs you of your own time. You are literally hating on yourself and you don't even realize it. Reality really is a theater. There's no other way to describe it. It's all so nonsensical, ridiculous, and chaotic. Kindness is one of the best gifts you can bestow. We know that inherently that feels great. Greatness and madness are next-door neighbors and they often borrow each other's sugar. I love a success story, but even more than a success story, I like a dude who fucks his life up and gets his life together again story. Excellence in anything increases your potential in everything. If you can control what you eat, you can control all other aspects of your life. When someone comes along and expresses him or herself as freely as they think, people flock to it. They enjoy it. So instead of investing your time in a passion, you've sold your life to work for an uncaring machine that doesn't understand you. That's the problem with our society. And what's the reward? Go home and get a big TV. If you ever start taking things too seriously, just remember that we are talking monkeys on an organic spaceship flying through the universe. To really appreciate life, you gotta know you're going to die. I realized a long time ago that instead of being jealous, you can be inspired and appreciative. It carries more energy to you. There's a never-ending ocean of techniques out there. The quicker we all realize that we've been taught how to live life by the people that were operating on the momentum of an ignorant past, the quicker we can move to a global ethic of mutual respect. Be the hero of your own story. Hard times create strong men, and strong men create good times. Don't waste time on negative people. Surround yourself with people who are hungry for success and growth. The secret to success is showing up consistently, even when you don't feel like it. Passion and hard work can overcome almost any obstacle. Fear is the only thing holding you back from reaching your full potential. You can't appreciate the good without experiencing the bad. Every person you meet knows something you don't. Learn from them. The best way to grow is to constantly put yourself in uncomfortable situations. Get addicted to improving yourself. Your biggest competition is the person you were yesterday. Comfort is the enemy of progress. Success isn't owned, it's rented, and the rent is due every day. Grind hard, stay focused, and don't stop until you've achieved your goals. Self-doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will. Small, consistent actions lead to massive results over time. You have two choices every day: make excuses or make progress. Discipline is choosing between what you want now and what you want most. Make sure your actions match your ambitions. Be so busy improving yourself that you have no time to criticize others. Rule number 1, never lose money. Rule number 2, never forget rule number 1. Price is what you pay, value is what you get. Risk comes from not knowing what you're doing. It's far better to buy a wonderful company at a fair price than a fair company at a wonderful price. Someone is sitting in the shade today because someone planted a tree a long time ago. The stock market is designed to transfer money from the active to the patient. Our favorite holding period is forever. The most important quality for an investor is temperament, not intellect. Only buy something that you'd be perfectly happy to hold if the market shut down for 10 years. We simply attempt to be fearful when others are greedy, and to be greedy only when others are fearful. In the business world, the rearview mirror is always clearer than the windshield. It takes 20 years to build a reputation and 5 minutes to ruin it. I always knew I was going to be rich. I don't think I ever doubted it for a minute. Honesty is a very expensive gift. Don't expect it from cheap people. The difference between successful people and really successful people is that really successful people say no to almost everything. Wall Street is the only place that people ride to in a Rolls Royce to get advice from those who take the subway. If you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. Chains of habit are too light to be felt until they are too heavy to be broken. It's better to hang out with people better than you. Pick out associates whose behavior is better than yours, and you'll drift in that direction. The best investment you can make is in yourself. Diversification is protection against ignorance. It makes little sense if you know what you're doing. You only have to do a very few things right in your life, so long as you don't do too many things wrong. Should you find yourself in a chronically leaking boat, energy devoted to changing vessels is likely to be more productive than energy devoted to patching leaks. It is not necessary to do extraordinary things to get extraordinary results. What we learn from history is that people don't learn from history. Time is the friend of the wonderful company, the enemy of the mediocre. You can't produce a baby in 1 month by getting 9 women pregnant. The investor of today does not profit from yesterday's growth. In the short run, the market is a voting machine, but in the long run, it is a weighing machine. If past history was all there was to the game, the richest people would be librarians. Forecasts may tell you a great deal about the forecaster. They tell you nothing about the future. The business schools reward difficult, complex behavior more than simple behavior, but simple behavior is more effective. I will tell you how to become rich. Close the doors. Be fearful when others are greedy. Be greedy when others are fearful. Opportunities come infrequently. When it rains gold, put out the bucket, not the thimble. The most important investment you can make is in yourself. You cannot make a good deal with a bad person. It's only when the tide goes out that you learn who's been swimming naked. You should invest in a business that even a fool can run, because someday a fool will. Predicting rain doesn't count. Building arcs does. You keep doing the same things and expect a different result. That's the definition of insanity. Success is your duty, obligation, and responsibility. Your greatness is limited only by the investments you make in yourself. Never lower your target. Increase your actions. Approach every situation with an in it to win it, whatever it takes mindset. Show up early. Treat people with respect and perform at the highest levels until the world can't deny you. One week they love me. Next week they hate me. Both weeks I get paid. Have goals so big your problems pale in comparison. You don't have time and money because you don't invest time and money. Rich people don't get rich by accident, and poor people don't stay poor by accident. Comfort makes more prisoners than all the jails combined. Success is not something that happens to you. It's something that happens because of you and because of the actions you take. Do not go to work, go to work to prosper. When you are taking massive action, you aren't thinking in terms of how many hours you work. Independence is something you have to work hard to get and even harder to keep. Learn to close, and you will never be without work and will never be without money. We are required to live up to the potential with which we've each been blessed. You'll never be admired without being criticized first. Money follows attention. Get attention and the money will follow. Your biggest problem is obscurity. Not enough people know who you are. Commit first, figure the rest out later. Success loves speed. The only reason you don't have what you want is because you're not taking enough action. Fear is a signal to take action, not a reason to stop. Don't play not to lose, play to win. You'll never be disappointed if you set targets so high you can't reach them. Sales cures all problems. Focus on creating income streams, not just saving pennies. Be obsessed or be average. The economy doesn't determine your success. Your actions do. Every problem you have is a money problem. People who are successful are not lucky. They work harder than anyone else. Excuses will always be there. Opportunities won't. 10x your goals, 10x your actions, and 10x your life. If you're not first, you're last. Your network is your net worth. Average is a failing formula. Whatever it takes is the only mindset you need to succeed. The most successful people are obsessed with improvement. Success isn't something you pursue, it's something you attract. You'll never be great at something unless you obsess over it. Work like your life depends on it because it does. You don't need more time, you need to use your time better. You'll never grow if you're comfortable. Fear isn't real, it's a product of your imagination. Perfectionism is just an excuse for procrastination. Time is money, but money can buy time. Most people quit right before they're about to succeed. You can't get rich thinking poor. Obsession isn't a problem, it's a gift. The right mindset is worth more than any skill set. Your potential is limitless, but your time isn't. When something is important enough, you do it even if the odds are not in your favor. Failure is an option here. If things are not failing, you are not innovating enough. Persistence is very important. You should not give up unless you are forced to give up. Some people don't like change, but you need to embrace change if the alternative is disaster. If you get up in the morning and think the future is going to be better, it is a bright day. Otherwise, it's not. I think it is possible for ordinary people to choose to be extraordinary. The first step is to establish that something is possible. Then probability will occur. I could either watch it happen or be a part of it. I don't create companies for the sake of creating companies, but to get things done. People work better when they know what the goal is and why. It's okay to have your eggs in one basket as long as you control what happens to that basket. I think that's the single best piece of advice. Constantly think about how you could be doing things better and questioning yourself. I say something and then it usually happens. Maybe not on schedule, but it usually happens. If you're trying to create a company, it's like baking a cake. You have to have all the ingredients in the right proportion. Starting a company is like eating glass and staring into the abyss. I think we have a duty to maintain the light of consciousness to make sure it continues into the future. I would like to die on Mars, just not on impact. The path to the CEO's office should not be through the CFO's office, and it should not be through the marketing department. It needs to be through engineering and design. I think it's very important to have a feedback loop where you're constantly thinking about what you've done and how you could be doing it better. Patience is a virtue, and I'm learning patience. It's a tough lesson. If something's important enough, you should try, even if the probable outcome is failure. I don't spend my time pontificating about high-concept things. I spend my time solving engineering and manufacturing problems. I think life on Earth must be about more than just solving problems. It's got to be something inspiring, even if it is vicarious. I think we are at the dawn of a new era in commercial space exploration. I think it matters whether someone has a good heart. I think you should always bear in mind that entropy is not on your side. I think the best way to attract venture capital is to try and come up with a demonstration of whatever product or service it is as tangible as possible. I think the best way to predict the future is to invent it. I think the biggest mistake people make is not trying to make a product that is better. Instead, they try to make a product that is different. I think you should always be questioning, are you doing something because it's the right thing to do or because it's tradition? I think it's very important to have a feedback loop where you're constantly thinking about what you've done and how you could be doing it better. I think it is possible for ordinary people to choose to be extraordinary. I think you should always bear in mind that entropy is not on your side. I think the best way to predict the future is to invent it. I think the biggest mistake people make is not trying to make a product that is better. Instead, they try to make a product that is different. I think you should always be questioning, are you doing something because it's the right thing to do or because it's tradition? I think it's very important to have a feedback loop where you're constantly thinking about what you've done and how you could be doing it better. I think it is possible for ordinary people to choose to be extraordinary. I think you should always bear in mind that entropy is not on your side. I think the best way to predict the future is to invent it. I think the biggest mistake people make is not trying to make a product that is better. Instead, they try to make a product that is different. I think you should always be questioning, are you doing something because it's the right thing to do or because it's tradition? I think it's very important to have a feedback loop where you're constantly thinking about what you've done and how you could be doing it better. I think it is possible for ordinary people to choose to be extraordinary. I think you should always bear in mind that entropy is not on your side. I think the best way to predict the future is to invent it. I think the biggest mistake people make is not trying to make a product that is better. Instead, they try to make a product that is different. I think you should always be questioning, are you doing something because it's the right thing to do or because it's tradition? I think it's very important to have a feedback loop where you're constantly thinking about what you've done and how you could be doing it better. I think it is possible for ordinary people to choose to be extraordinary. Discipline equals freedom. There is no growth in the comfort zone. Implementing extreme ownership requires checking your ego and operating with a high degree of humility. Stop researching every aspect of it and reading all about it and debating the pros and cons of it. Start doing it. Relax, look around, make a call. Prioritize your problems and take care of them one at a time. The highest priority first. Leaders should never be satisfied. They must always strive to improve. Our freedom to operate and maneuver had increased substantially through disciplined procedures. You can't make people listen to you. You can't make them execute. Don't expect to be motivated every day. That's why discipline is so important. Get after it. There are no shortcuts. There are no hacks. If you want to take the easy road, it won't take you to where you want to be. Cover and move. Simple. Prioritize and execute. Decentralized command. The test is not a complex one. When the alarm goes off, do you get up out of bed, or do you lie there in comfort and fall back to sleep? Good leaders don't make excuses. Instead, they figure out a way to get things done. Stay humble or get humbled. Don't let your mind control you. Control your mind. Detachment allows you to see the battlefield clearly without emotion and make the right call. The most important thing to get your team to believe in is the mission. Extreme ownership is a mindset and attitude. Take responsibility for everything in your world. If you're on a team, you're responsible for the team. No one is going to hand you success. You have to earn it. Winning is not something that happens suddenly on the field when the whistle blows. Winning is something that builds physically and mentally every day. The more you practice, the better you get. The harder you work, the more discipline you put in, the better the result. Success is not about luck. It's about being prepared, disciplined, and focused. Leadership is not about you, it's about the team. If you want to lead, you must first learn to follow. Face your fears head on. They diminish the moment you confront them. Every day you have a choice. Stay comfortable or get after it. Nothing is easy, nothing is free. If you want it, you have to earn it. Own everything in your world. There is no one else to blame. The temptation to take the easy road is always there, but discipline will always conquer weakness. Be aggressive, be bold, take action. The greatest leaders are those who put their team above themselves. The way you do anything is the way you do everything. If you want to be tougher, be tougher. Take extreme ownership of your failures and use them to learn and grow. Focus on what you can control and let go of what you can't. Stay calm, stay focused, and stay in the fight. Leadership is not what you preach, it's what you tolerate. Wake up early, get your workout in, win the morning. There's no growth without discomfort. Consistency beats intensity every time. Don't let your emotions dictate your actions. Excuses are lies we tell ourselves to avoid responsibility. Discipline will take you places motivation can't. The standard you set for yourself is the standard others will follow. Keep moving forward, no matter how small the steps. Hard times reveal true character. Complacency kills growth. Stay vigilant. Don't just talk about it, be about it. Action is the antidote to fear. The most dangerous, unhappy people I've met are those who are both extremely ambitious and extremely lazy. Your vision must align with who you want to be. Your choices must align with your vision. People who don't think more than one move ahead are driven by ego, emotion, and fear. Stop constantly taking the easy way out. No blockbuster movie was ever based on an easy life. It takes hard work to make it to the top. It takes twice the effort to stay at the top. If you can walk, talk, hear, or see, you have everything it takes to do something big with your life. The most important person to believe in is you. Stop thinking about your past mistakes. Stop worrying about what the future holds. Start focusing on what you can do now. A talented entrepreneur with bad habits eventually becomes an employee. If you want to be big, you must be willing to disappear for a while. Very few people in business keep their word. When you find them, go into business with them. The first 2 years of being an entrepreneur is a roller coaster ride. The goal is to eventually own the roller coaster and the theme park. In the end, your success will speak for itself. Everyone has a great idea, but only a few have great work ethic. The best recruiters in the world are small thinkers. They convince millions of dreamers to give up on their dreams. You either pay the price now or pay the price later, but regardless of your decision, the price must be paid in full. Savings give you a lot of strength, flexibility, and control. They are what give you the most powerful answer in the world. Reading an hour a day is only 4% of your day, but that 4% will put you at the top of your field within 10 years. Find the time. We never feel completely ready for life's big decisions, but in taking the leap, we push ourselves to the next level. Take some time to sit and reflect on your dream job, or the best version of you. It's tough to start the next chapter of your life if you keep rereading and reliving the last one. Grab the pen of life and start writing the next one. Instincts are a byproduct of thousands of hours of mastering your trade. One cannot charm or seduce their way out of lost time. Time has no mercy for those who take it for granted. The moment you start fighting for something bigger than you, you'll be introduced to a version of you that you've never seen before. The future looks bright for those who stay humble. You have room to improve. You can learn from others, including your enemies and allies. Spend money on experiences instead of things because they last longer. Only your habits will continue to frustrate you. Your results are a byproduct of your habits. Change your habits, change your results. If experts say you have ADHD, use that God-given gift to ignore naysayers. Learn to use your crutches in life as secret weapons. The less your business depends on you, the more valuable it is. The more your business depends on you, the less valuable it is. There's no exit opportunity if the business relies on your personality. Any entrepreneur who wants to stay sane needs to let go of the silly notion that challenges are scary. If you want to make a bunch of money, then solve complex problems for people and charge them for it. Pay it forward. You're one bad decision away from setting yourself back years, one bad relationship away from picking up bad habits and mindset. At the same time, you're one great decision away from changing your life. The moment you realize no one is coming to save you is the moment you start saving yourself. Discipline is the bridge between your goals and accomplishments. Success is rented and the rent is due every day. Your excuses will always be more convincing than your reasons to succeed if you let them. Don't let temporary emotions dictate long-term decisions. You are only as strong as your weakest habit. The best investment you'll ever make is in yourself. Action cures fear, inaction fuels it. Money doesn't change people. It simply exposes who they already are. Stop looking for shortcuts. The long road is where the real growth happens. Your network is your net worth, but your mindset is your real currency. Leadership isn't about titles, it's about impact. If you don't build your dream, someone will hire you to build theirs. Your comfort zone is the enemy of your potential. The difference between winners and losers is how they handle setbacks. Don't wait for motivation. Create habits that don't rely on it. The cost of success is paid up front and in full. There are no refunds. Success doesn't come from what you do occasionally. It comes from what you do consistently. Business opportunities are like buses. There's always another one coming. You don't learn to walk by following rules. You learn by doing and by falling over. The brands that will thrive in the coming years are the ones that have a purpose beyond profit. Do not be embarrassed by your failures. Learn from them and start again. If your dreams don't scare you, they are too small. The best way of learning about anything is by doing. Entrepreneurship isn't just a label, it's a lifestyle. The one person who can make your business succeed is not an investor or even a mentor. It is you. If you don't succeed at first, there's no need for the F-word failure. Pick yourself up and try. Try again. Respect is how to treat everyone, not just those you want to impress. Chance favors the prepared mind. The more you practice, the luckier you become. Your company should act as a springboard for ambitious employees, not a set of shackles. Don't think what's the cheapest way to do it or what's the fastest way to do it. Think what's the most amazing way to do it. When you're first thinking through an idea, it's important not to get bogged down in complexity. Thinking simply and clearly is hard to do. Entrepreneurship is about turning what excites you in life into capital so that you can do more of it and move forward with it. Screw it, just do it. If you spot an opportunity and are really excited by it, throw yourself into it with everything you've got. If you don't have time for the small things, you won't have time for the big things. Education doesn't just take place in stuffy classrooms and university buildings. It can happen everywhere, every day to every person. If people aren't calling you crazy, you aren't thinking big enough. Learn from failure. If you are an entrepreneur and your first venture wasn't a success, welcome to the club. Train people well enough so they can leave. Treat them well enough so they don't want to. A business has to be involving, it has to be fun, and it has to exercise your creative instincts. The first thing to look for when searching for a great employee is somebody with a personality that fits with your company culture. Most skills can be learned, but it is difficult to train people on their personality. Any successful entrepreneur knows that time is more valuable than money itself. Put your passions to work to make this world a better place. Please be polite. Nothing in life should erode the habit of saying thank you to people or praising them. Successful entrepreneurs don't wait for the perfect moment, they create it. If you don't enjoy it, don't do it. You must love what you do. There is so much to be learned from listening to people's hopes, frustrations, and points of view. People are no different from flowers. If you water them, they flourish. If you are not nice to them, they shrivel up. Life is a hell of a lot more fun if you say yes rather than no. Happiness is the secret ingredient for successful businesses. If you have a happy company, it will be invincible. Listen, take the best, leave the rest. If you're hurt, lick your wounds and get up again. If you've given it your absolute best, it's time to move forward. You can't do a good business with a bad person. Find the right team. Dream big, act bold, and the sky is the limit. Success isn't final, and failure isn't fatal. It's the courage to continue that counts. Take care of your employees, and they'll take care of your business. Every risk is worth taking if it's for a good cause and contributes to a good life. The key to success is having the confidence to take calculated risks. Find people who are better than you at the things you're weak at and let them shine. Life's too short to waste your time on people who don't make you happy. Opportunities are everywhere, but you must be willing to see them and act on them. The best businesses are born from solving problems you care deeply about. Take notes, listen, and always stay curious. Surround yourself with people who challenge you, support you, and inspire you. Don't just build a business, build a legacy. Fortune favors the bold. If you're bold enough to take action, the rewards will follow. Work hard, play hard, and give back to the world. Compare yourself to who you were yesterday, not to who someone else is today. You can only find out what you actually believe rather than what you think you believe by watching how you act. If you don't say what you think, you kill your unborn self. To suffer terribly and to know yourself as the cause, that is hell. The purpose of life, as far as I can tell, is to find a mode of being that's so meaningful that the fact that life is suffering is no longer relevant. Intolerance of others' views, no matter how ignorant or incoherent they may be, is not simply wrong. In a world where there is no right or wrong, it is worse. It is a sign you are embarrassingly unsophisticated or possibly dangerous. Perhaps you are overvaluing what you don't have and undervaluing what you do. If you are not willing to be a fool, you can't become a master. In order to be able to think, you have to risk being offensive. You must determine where you're going in your life, because you cannot get there unless you move in that direction. Ideologies are substitutes for true knowledge, and ideologues are always dangerous when they come to power. We deserve some respect. You deserve some respect. You are important to other people as much as to yourself. Always place your becoming above your current being. The successful among us delay gratification. The successful among us bargain with the future. Don't compare yourself with other people. Compare yourself with who you were yesterday. Take responsibility for your own life. Make it as meaningful as possible. Treat yourself like someone you are responsible for helping. Set your house in perfect order before you criticize the world. Be precise in your speech. Assume that the person you are listening to might know something you don't. Act so that you can tell the truth about how you act. Confront the chaos of being. Take the world on your shoulders. Strengthen the individual. Start with yourself. You don't get to choose not to pay a price. You only get to choose which price you pay. Stand up straight with your shoulders back. Life is tragic. You are tiny and flawed and ignorant and weak, and everything else is huge and complex and overwhelming. You cannot change the world without changing yourself first. Find the heaviest burden you can bear and bear it. To learn is to die voluntarily and be born again in great ways and small. Stop doing the things that you know are wrong. The way you make people resilient is by voluntarily exposing them to things they are afraid of. Success is the willingness to take responsibility for your life and the discipline to act on it. Treat yourself as if you are someone you are responsible for helping. You should take care of yourself as if you are someone you are responsible for. Make at least one thing better every single place you go. Don't lie about anything ever. Lying leads to hell. Make friends with people who want the best for you. Assume ignorance before malevolence. Life is not supposed to be happy all the time. It's supposed to be meaningful. Courage is the willingness to confront what is terrifying. People who do not have their own houses in order should be very careful before they start trying to reorganize the world. Success requires a sacrifice. You have to give up something to achieve something. Failure is just trial and error. Keep trying. You have to care for yourself as if you matter, because you do. Dream big, but start small. Discipline is the path to freedom. Accept the terrible responsibility of life with eyes wide open. Become the best version of yourself. It's the only way to truly live. Life is not a game you win. It's a journey you endure with grace and courage. You are capable of far more than you think. Push yourself to see how far you can go. Strength does not come from winning. Your struggles develop your strengths. When you go through hardships and decide not to surrender, that is strength. What is the point of being on this earth if you are going to be like everyone else? The mind is the limit. As long as the mind can envision the fact that you can do something, you can do it, as long as you really believe 100%. If you want to turn a vision into reality, you have to give 100% and never stop believing in your dream. Bodybuilding is much like any other sport. To be successful, you must dedicate yourself 100% to your training, diet, and mental approach. From the bodybuilding days on, I learned that everything is reps and mileage. The more miles you ski, the better a skier you become. The more reps you do, the better your body. If you don't find the time, if you don't do the work, you don't get the results. Positive thinking can be contagious. Being surrounded by winners helps you develop into a winner. You can't climb the ladder of success with your hands in your pockets. In our society, the women who break down barriers are those who ignore limits. I don't walk away from things that I think are unfinished. Stop whining. All I know is that the first step is to create a vision, because when you see the vision, the beautiful vision, that creates the want power. Life may be full of pain, but that's not an excuse to give up. The resistance that you fight physically in the gym and the resistance that you fight in life can only build a strong character. The worst thing I can be is the same as everybody else. I hate that. For me, life is about continuously being hungry. The meaning of life is not simply to exist, to survive, but to move ahead, to go up, to achieve, to conquer. The difference between those who adapted and those who didn't was a willingness to totally commit. The mind always fails first, not the body. The secret is to make your mind work for you, not against you. What we face may look insurmountable, but I learned something from all those years of training and competing. I learned something from all those sets and reps when I didn't think I could lift another ounce of weight. What I learned is that we are always stronger than we know. You have to remember something. Everybody pities the weak. Jealousy, you have to earn. Just like in bodybuilding, failure is also a necessary experience for growth in our own lives. For if we're never tested to our limits, how will we know how strong we really are? How will we ever grow? If I can see it and believe it, then I can achieve it. Early to bed, early to rise, work like hell, and advertise. Never follow the crowd. Go where it's empty. Success isn't owned, it's leased. And rent is due every day. Lots of people wanting everything and doing nothing. Quit feeling sorry for yourself. Make shit happen. Dream so big everyone thinks you're crazy, no matter what they think about it. The only person that limits you stares back at you in the mirror every single day. This is about legacy. This is about service. This is about giving far more than you take. This is about inspiring the warrior attitude and taking responsibility for your life. This is about picking each other up. Did you do what you needed to do today? Your mind and focus are far more powerful than you could ever comprehend. 99% of people let others' opinions and beliefs keep them from ever living the life they want. A lot of people think of it like, if I do all this work and what if it doesn't happen? No, If you do the work and you make a plan, it will happen. There is no question. Be brave enough to go after what you really want. Be strong enough to pick people up and bring them with you. Instead of thinking how hard your journey is, think how great your story will be. Inside every self-made man is a poor kid who followed his dreams. The reason people don't succeed is because they don't do the work. I'm a regular dude who made a daily list of critical tasks that needed to get done, and I did them. You are the only one who can stop you. Real success is not defined by what you accomplish. It is defined by how you are helping others accomplish. There are no superhumans, just humans, and what one man can do, another can do. What you think about, dream about, talk about, and focus on will become your life. Most people in life wait. They wait and put off the things they truly want to be in their heart for. Tomorrow, the mystical place where 99% of all dreams, human achievement, and potential greatness goes to die. Nothing great is given, it's earned. Free your mind to dream huge. Free your heart to believe it's possible. There are two types of people in this world, anchors and propellers. There is no what if. If you do the work on a worthy plan, the result will be there. Will your story be one of ultimate fulfillment and success through the maximization of your potential by overcoming tremendous difficulty and inspiring millions to be better? Or will it be one of what could have been? Don't let the constant pursuit of and drive for success keep you from appreciating and being grateful for what you have now. Now what? Are you going to run and cry like a little bitch and blame everyone? Or are you going to take a deep breath, think, act, and move forward? The only thing relevant to your success is your actions. Find out what it is you stand for in your heart and stand for it. Everything you see, touch, or use in your daily life started as just a single thought. Remember the days you prayed for the things you have now. You are where you are because of you. Live for the weekends, and that's all you'll ever have. Yes, finding success is going to require you to make sacrifices and be uncomfortable. When you say no, most of the time you are saying yes to the progression of yourself and those around you. What you're doing in the short term to make yourself comfortable is killing your potential. There's a lot of healthy shit that comes from believing in yourself. If you don't believe you're the shit, nobody else will either. History forgets whiners, but remembers winners. Easy never pays well. Make sure the people who bet against you lose. Being a leader who lets shit slide isn't being a leader at all. Accepting responsibility even when it's not your fault and fixing the problem, you will have unlimited income potential in your life. There's something you're good at. You're just not putting value on it. I deserve is the most whiny crybaby phrase in the English language. If you do the work and you make a plan, it will fucking happen. You don't have to define yourself by one kind of life. You can live in any world you want. Nobody who you want to be floats through the day. Don't be an asshole to yourself. You know why you are so far from where you want to be? Because you think too small. You do now, and you always have. The biggest mistake you can make in life is thinking you have all the time in the world.